This video is about off-leash training. Before conducting off-leash training, your dog should already been trained on an e-collar and knows a prong collar and knows basic obedience commands. So before stepping into off-leash training, make sure your dog is trained in those aspects first. This will assure that you will be able to train your dog off-leash without having an incident. In this video, Georgia was already trained in the e-collar, a prong collar, and her basics. All right, today we're going to be talking about off-leash, and that's a lot of questions that a lot of people want to know about. It's like how they get their dogs off leash. We got a couple methods. We're strictly talking about my methods. I'm not talking about other trainers' methods of what they do and how they get a dog to off leash. But when I do off leash, I start the dog with a long lead and an e-collar, and I use a prong collar also. So the dog, once the dog is trained to stay with me on leash, and they understand the concept of the e-collar, then I use then I start moving to off-leash. So I'm gonna show you real quick how we did with Georgia, how we got her to do off-leash, and we'll go right through it and I'll show you real quick. All right, so for this exercise, you're gonna need a long leash, you're gonna need treats, and you're gonna need a prong collar. And I'll tell you why that prong collar is gonna come in handy later. So we got a long 25-foot lead. We're gonna let her run on this long leash. And when she gets farther away from us, we'll call her back to us. And you're gonna need treats. So she's pretty much off leash. And what we're doing is we have the long lead tied to the prong. So the weight on the prong is pulling down on the leash. So she thinks she's on leash when she's really off leash. So the first thing is getting the dog to understand to be off leash when you're out here with them and have control of them. The reason why you need the treats is because you need to keep her focused on you, because they're gonna be distractions. They're gonna be cars, they're gonna be people, they're gonna be things. So when she's doing good, give her a treat. But technically she's on leash, but she's off leash. I'll show you. Now that I have the long lead and she also understands the concept, I have a e-collar remote in my pocket. This is to recall her in case of emergency and to get her attention back on me. I'm gonna switch her to a short lead. Short leash. So I've switched her to a short leash. So she's practically still on leash. I just switched it from the long to the short. And I'm gonna take the long leash. So she's still on leash, but she's on a short leash now. So I've taken the long one away. But the weight from the prong on the short leash feels like she's still leashed to me. And you'll watch as I start to walk. Georgia, come here. You'll see a car come. I'm gonna use my treat as a distraction. Georgia, come here, sit. So a car is passing, I make her sit, she keeps her eye on me, and I reward her for the sit. Georgia. 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 So now she's there. Georgia, here. Come here. So we've moved from a long leash to a short leash. And right now we're gonna move to a no leash. So she's practically off leash now. She doesn't know it, but she thinks she is. The weight from the prong collar and the leash makes her think that she's still on leash with me. Sit. So now that I got George's attention, she's focused on me and not everything else. I haven't taken her prong off, but I haven't done it for a reason. Because as long as she has a prong, she thinks she's under control. So I've taken the leash completely off. So George is completely off leash. I can recall her from anywhere in this yard. She's staying right with me. Remember, we had the treat, so I have a reason for her to stay here with me and not run off and chase something. Then for my backup, I got my e-collar if I need to call her to me. Especially if it's important. But everywhere I go, George is gonna go with me. Georgia. Sit. Relax. Good girl. Off leash. Sit.